So this video is meant to just be a quick guide on how you can easily make some gold in the new WoW expansion with a minimal to low effort profession. So I took mining and skinning. The things I would recommend with them, starting with mining, is going to be going into the Meticulous mining tree, putting 40 points into this so you could be mounted and mining. This is just going to net you way more nodes overall. Then I went into plentiful ores. This is kind of where you get to have your own personal choice. I personally went into copper. I think copper is going to sell way more throughout the expansion, and it's used in almost every single thing. Plus, it is the most abundant out here while you're farming. Then after that, for skinning, so skinning has changed a little bit. It's still basically the same. You can still just go skin a bunch of beasts. But the one thing that they did change about it is now some of them will be marked on your map, and the ones that are marked on your map will actually drop more than the normal. So if you have a class that can easily just like delete something, like, so for example, I'm a monk, I can just hit them a couple times, touch of death, and then skin them and get back on my way. So this for me personally is pretty profitable on this class. If your class can't do that, maybe just be a druid. You can fly around and just skin everybody else's dead bodies, or if you want to go farm, that's totally fine too. But for skinning, the main attraction here isn't going to be just skinning. It's going to be the talented tracker tab. So in this tab, you get to learn how to craft elusive traps, essentially like lures. And these will spawn mini bosses in each one of the new zones. And when you skin them, they have a chance to drop a epic material. Now, before you get ahead of yourself thinking that, okay, I'll just take that, dump all my points into it, you will need to put some into majestic materials. If you don't, you won't get the materials. You'll be able to summon the boss and skin them, but you will not be able to actually acquire the materials. So I would recommend put a little bit into the talented tracker and a little bit into the majestic materials. Like right there, I just flew down, touch of death, that guy, skinned him, and then took off. And that, that's going to net me a lot of gold right there, just doing that every, minute and a half. I would recommend picking up some profession tools if you're seriously thinking about doing this, especially with mining. Some of them have dropped significantly in price, but the finesse on it can actually net you quite a bit more in materials overall. It's just, I think it's a no-brainer when it comes to the tools. Now, depending on the price, some servers, they might be more expensive. Some servers, they'll be cheaper. My server, it was pretty cheap. So you can also server hop and try and find them, maybe pop it into your Warpan bank. Obviously, go get all your profession knowledge from any of the profession items before you start most of these farms so that you can get the most out of them. In my opinion, if this is your main, great, just go out and farm a ton, get as much as you can. You can make quite a bit of gold just going around here, for even 10 minutes. But if this is your alternate character or your main is a crafter, keep your alternate as your farmer. In my opinion, currently in the expansion, the way the professions have been working is once you hit max on your profession, other than like jewel crafting and enchanting and alchemy, you don't need the materials anymore. People will send you crafting orders. That's how you'll use the materials. If you spec into anything that's like resourcefulness, you'll get materials refunded when you craft their items with their materials. So you're just printing raw money. Otherwise, if this is your main, I would say go full send on mining, skinning, or mining and herbalism. I know on my server in Realm, herbalism has kind of tanked. The pricing on it has gone way down, but mining has still stayed true. The only other thing I would recommend is if you really don't want to do this, you'd rather just play the game, mindlessly killing stuff. You can go do some of the new dungeons and try to get some of the patterns to drop. Currently, some of them on my server, at least, my realm, are selling for a ton, at least 100,000 or more. Most people are going to be really sought after for these things. They're not going to want to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Most people are going to want to be number one, so selling those as soon as you get them is another good method. Other than that, I think mining and skinning really are just going to be two of the biggest professions right now early on, and personally I think that they're going to hold true to that for most of the expansion. So like I was talking about, you'll make these majestic lures. There's going to be one for every single zone and then a bonus grand lure. But so far you can put down one in each zone. The one I'm at right now is in Zul'Aman, just underneath this bridge. You're going to come here. After you craft it, you are going to place your lure. And it should spawn a beast somewhere within this vicinity. Right there. And you are just going to kill him, skin him, and it will potentially give you a epic quality item from skinning. And these items sell for quite a bit. On my server, some of them are selling for like 8,000 and 9,000. One thing to keep in mind when you're skinning them is going to be the sharpen your knife ability. So this will make it so that it's going to guarantee that you're going to actually get something from them. It may or may not be the epic item, but I have had it give me double the items. Like right there, I just got 3 of them off of this one. It's 100% worth it. If we get on the auction house mount here, let's double check the price. That just net me 20,000 gold off of that one. You can do this every hour on all of your lures once per day. Like I said, potentially some huge gold earnings you can make from skinning and mining. If you want my recommendation on a profession guide or like a gold making guide, this is the way to go. If you want to be kind of like low effort and you don't have a whole lot of time to spend in the game. Other than that, yeah, happy farming and go make some gold.